Hey, hello, Stiller Nation Midwest and Stiller Nation period. I'm here doing the full post game wrap up of the Pittsburgh Steelers Baltimore Ravens game that was played yesterday afternoon. Uh, if you already know, if you watched my 6, 7 minute wrap up last night, uh, the Ravens won 34-17, and we're going to discuss that today and talk about some other things too. But first I want to talk about one of my sponsors, Young Blades, Fades, All Natural, LLC, Tez the Dreadlock Barber. All right, works out of Jazzy Cuts up in Grandview, Missouri, off of Blue Ridge. Uh, he's in the back, man, with the dreadlocks, really good. He does a lot of other stuff too, so look him up when you contact him about a haircut or anything else. He trains kids with basketball skills as far as shooting form and all types of stuff. And also, he introduces them to weight training and things of that nature. So he's doing a lot. And he does it right here at the View in Grandview. So it's something that you need to look into if you need that type of service. But also the haircuts too. He's really good at it. And he does beats and for production and things like that. I've seen some stuff on his page where he's created short music videos and things of that nature, and also does beats for young guys who are inspiring to do things in the music world. The other, other stuff that he does is basically just, it's in with his his retro Young Blades fades situation. He's just all around, man. He has a lot of stuff going on, so check him out. Okay. Um, so basically 34-17. So we're gonna talk about the Ravens first. The Baltimore Ravens, man. We had to go down there. We beat them earlier in the year with 6 field goals. We beat them what? I think it was 18-16 was the score, and it seemed like it was heading that way a little bit yesterday, but turnovers here and turnovers there, and momentum swings, and the score looks like it's lopsided, but the game was actually closer. I viewed a lot, and it was actually closer, but the mistakes, the 2 turnovers were big, man. But Lamar Jackson did have a really good game as far as he threw 3 touchdowns, 207 yards passing, 15 to 23. He threw one interception. He was sacked once, and he had 115 point four quarterback rating. So he was balling. Rushing wise, Derrick Henry, King Henry, 24 carries, 162 attempts, and we couldn't stop the running game, man. I mean, we just couldn't stop it. We got to fix that, and the more you watch it, you can see there was a lot of not gap sound, no gap integrity with the defensive linemen. I mean, there were some people were not where they were supposed to be in their run fits. So when that happens and you're playing against somebody like Derrick Henry, or Lamar Jackson, that's going to be tough because you need to be disciplined and play your scheme. And a lot of times, when I watched it on tape, some of our defensive linemen were not using good gap integrity, and they weren't, so the fit wasn't there, and they were getting moved too. Baltimore's offensive line, I can't take anything away from them. They basically did what Philly did to us, so we need to get that fixed. I know we got a young group up there with Cam Haywood, but these guys been in the league and they've been making noise. But you got to turn it up, man. We got to get Larry Ogunjobi back. Martavius Adams played in his place the other day in Loudermilk. Keno Benton, Cam Haywood, and but we need to get more physical and run, get back to what we were doing earlier in the year, man. As far as stopping the run, we're getting gashed right now. I mean, he had a 40 yard with a 40. He broke off a 40-yard run on us. Man, it's crazy. So and then the backup, he only had 2 carries. I think he got hurt and he left the game. But that last carry he busted one for 30 yards. He had 2 attempts. Uh, Jay, I forget his first name, but his last name is Hill. He's a backup running back to Derrick Henry. So, and they're running, and then Lamar, you know, he had some rushing attempts also. And receiving wise, they depended on it's more possession. Um, we kind of took some of their receivers out of the game plan. But Zay Flowers still found a way. He had 5 receptions for 100 yards. They found him. He had a 49-yard reception. Uh, Andrews, the tight end, and I knew he was a problem. He had 4 catches, 37 yards, and 1 touchdown. And then Likely, also the other tight end, 3 receptions, 27 yards, and he had a 19-yard touchdown. He had 1 touchdown catch also. So it's one of them situations, man. We got to get better. I mean, it's coming down to the point. And I know we had some injuries, and that had a lot to do with it, and I know it does, but hey, guys got next man up. So Sean Elliott, from what I'm hearing today, Sean Elliott should be back. And I think that, like I said before, that was probably done on purpose. So they're saving him for the game. Some people were hoping. I mean, there's actually some news reporters in Pittsburgh, and there's talk of them not even playing Pickens until Cincinnati. And I'm like, and he said he's ready to go. And so I think he'll play Christmas Day. He'll definitely play him and Deshaun Elliott. Dante Jackson should be back. He was supposed to play yesterday. The back spasms when he left the Philly game, but he was limited today. But he did practice. A couple people had rest days. That's common with NFL especially older guys like Cam Haywood. A lot of them dudes didn't practice today. T.J. Watt. There was nothing wrong. It was just a veteran rest day. T.J. Watt, Cam Haywood, Isaac Saamalo, the offensive lineman, T.J. Watt, Highsmith, Minka. A lot of those guys didn't practice at all today. Basically, they'll do the walkthrough portion in the meetings, of course. But as far as getting out there now, it's a rest day for them. They need it. And then you have, so you have a situation where we got to get ready for that game on Wednesday when the Chiefs come to town. So their running game is different than the Ravens. The Ravens have a unique thing with Derrick Henry and Lamar Jackson. So, that it's hard to deal with them, and we usually do a better job than we did yesterday. But it was difficult, So the way they run the ball, and the read options and all that type of stuff is difficult. And you gotta constrict them and keep them in the pocket, and keep Derrick Henry, because a lot of times, even though he did have 162 yards because he busted that one, and he had enough carries to get there. But a lot of times, out of them 24 carries, there was a couple times he was tackled in the backfield because he would try to spill out, and we had him pinched in. But a lot of times he broke it, and that was usually off tackle inside, and that's where the gap integrity was kind of messy. So he did hurt us with that. As far as the run game, we just got to get better, man. I think Deshaun Elliott will help. Minka, KZ was in there, and Minka had to come up into the box in the reverse. Now Deshaun Elliott will probably be in the box. Minka will be back, and Minka did have a splash play, but we gotta handle this run, man. We got to get that done. We can't let Kansas City come here and run the ball down our throats. I don't think they will try, but Mahomes can run. And their backs, they have a few backs, so we got to watch out for that. So, but it starts this week, man. In the next couple of days, we got to fix it. We got to fix it quick. Okay, got to fix it quick. One of my other sponsors, DJ Foots, local DJ here in Kansas City, Missouri, does a lot of events, Juke House, other events, when people call him, and he's done some major events here in the city and also out on the road too. So if you need to get in touch with him and have an event that you want him to DJ, he also caters too. We haven't got into that, but the DJing part, his business page on Facebook, and he's on other social media sites too. But on his business page on Facebook, DJ Foot's business page, Facebook business page. It has a listing of his prices, hours, and things of that nature. How much he'll charge you, for a certain event and number of people and things of that nature. So check him out, man. You can reach him with his information on business page, Facebook. That's again DJ Foot's Facebook, all caps, DJ Foots with an S, because there's some other DJ Foots and they're spelled differently. They small letters, and I realized that when I was looking it up. So it's all caps. But make sure you go on there and check him out. Okay. Um, Back to the podcast as far as the wrap up game. Tucker, he's been having a bad season, but he was 2 for 2 yesterday. He knocked in 2 field goals that helped him. Um, you know, and that's what you got to do. We had some stuff happen in the back end where they should have been held to field goals, and we gave up touchdowns. 2 of them that I'm gonna talk about. Um, the one where Cam Sutton and like Tomlin said at his press conference today, it's too late in the year for guys to be running free back there and not have nobody's accounting for them. We've been doing this too long. It's what, week 16, 17. Come on, man. But I mean, Cam Sutton, yeah, he hasn't been playing. He was suspended for the first 8 games of the year, but he was in meetings, and he's a vet. He knows better. And I don't know what happened, with that, but you can see Likely coming up, not Likely, but Andrews coming into the end zone, and Cam Sutton's right there. Somebody else flashes, a DB on that side covers him, but for some reason, Cam Sutton left Andrews wide open in the back of the end zone. He just looked and went the other way, and that's an easy read for Lamar Jackson. I mean, it's easy touchdown. So that type of stuff can't keep happening, man. And then we got to tackle better. I know during the season, NFL teams don't really go to the ground a lot, and they just talk about form and things of that nature. But these guys are pros, so you got to man up. So it's time to start. I think it's time to start playing guys who have been here and vets that some of the rookies it's getting late in the season. A lot of them are running into the walls. I was watching a couple of them like Beanie Bishop yesterday, and he struggled to cover, and he's a fast kid, and he was struggling, and I think it was just a sign that he was thinking too much. The speed gonna be there, but he was thinking too much. Trice, same thing. He hasn't been playing, and he just came back off of IR. So, he's back in the defensive backfield. So we had a situation yesterday where we had on defense, well, before I go into Pittsburgh's defense, but on defense we played a lot of backups, so we'll get to that. As far as Baltimore's defense, they played really well yesterday. They made it difficult. They made it really difficult for our offensive linemen to get off on them. And then their speed kind of took over a little bit, just a little taste. And Russell had a hard time being able to look downfield yesterday. He got sacked 3 times. He was running for his life. He was running for his life, and because he didn't get a chance to set and throw, he was like rushing, and I think that had a lot to do with it too. A lot of it was rushed, But Roquan Smith led the Ravens with 10 tackles, 5 solo. Hamilton had 5 solos also. Defensive tackle. What's his name? Mosbiki. He was in on 7. He was in on 4 solos. He had 2 tackles, and he had a sack, a half a sack, tackle for loss also. And then Van Noy had 2 solos, tackle, 1.5 sacks also. And then Marlon Humphreys had 2 solos, an interception for a pick 6 late in the game. And then, passing yards, they had time of possession, they had the ball 32 minutes and 25 seconds. Passing 198, total 418, rushing yards 220. So they, they knew they had to secure that. It would have been tough for them. They would have took a L to us. No excuses. But we wanted to win that game. We wasn't giving them anything. So, so now we're tied up. And to explain the picture on that, again, if you're not sure, so both teams are 10-5. Baltimore and the Pittsburgh Steelers are both 10-5 in the AFC North. Pittsburgh owns the tiebreakers in the conference play, and so as long as Pittsburgh wins, they're gonna win the division. They'll win the division. If they lose, though, they got a problem. If they lose and Baltimore wins out, they have a problem. The only thing, Baltimore has to go to Houston, but Dale, the wide receiver, that play yesterday when he caught the touchdown in the back of the end zone, when Houston was playing Kansas City yesterday, he ended up dislocating his kneecap, so he's done again. He just came back off our season-ending injury. Now he's back, and he gets hurt again. So it's bad luck for him, man. Tank Dell, being a good receiver too. So they're going to miss him. But down in Houston, they're hard to beat. But their quarterback, Pease, the defensive coordinator for the Ravens, probably going to make it tough on them. It's going to be tough. But if Houston can knock them off, then, it is what it is with us. But we need to win. We need to handle our business. We control our own destiny. So knock the Chiefs off, beat the Chiefs, then beat Cincinnati, and we win the division. If not, we're going to drop to round 4. We'll drop to 4th seed or 5 seed, and we'll win the tiebreaker with Houston. So we'll be the 4 seed. We'll be the 5 seed. I'm sorry, because they win their division. So we'll be the 5 seeds. We'll slip from 3 to 5. It means we're gonna have to go on the road the first day, the first weekend, instead of having that home game. So that loss, that's what that loss did to us yesterday. So now we're back. Our backs are against the wall, and Pittsburgh plays really good on big time games, big time national TV games when their backs against the wall. Tomlin just does a really good job with that, and his players get it. And both teams have short periods to practice. This week is a short week for both teams. Kansas City played yesterday, and so did Pittsburgh. And they both got to play on Wednesday. And the difference is Kansas City got to travel. Kansas City got to come to Pennsylvania, so they got to travel, whereas the Steelers are already there. So, but as far as what Pittsburgh needed to do, it was tough. We just couldn't sustain anything, man. But I think getting Pickens back will help. It'll definitely help us, and it'll make a situation better for us offensively. I think it will. We're going to talk about Pittsburgh's offensive stats and what they failed to do on offense right after this sponsor. David Carrington, Compass Timepieces, based in Los Angeles, California, has a high-end watch company that he designed and created, and he uses watchmakers in Switzerland, the best watchmakers in the world, to do the mechanism. So it's not like he's cheating or anything, because even with a Lamborghini or cars and things like that, there's manufacturers that make parts better for cars. That person gets the parts for them. Same thing with the watches. So it was his idea, his creation. Compass Timepieces. He's in his 4th year. His business is booming. It's high end. They're high end. They are high end. Like I wear fossils, things like that. But I can't see, not yet, seeing me wearing that high end of a watch. The cost is pretty up there, but it's good. It's a nice watch, man. It's going to wear well. It's going to last forever. You're going to be able to have a keepsake and pass it down to nephews or sons and whatever, grandsons. It's something that can keep going, like the old days when they used to have the timepieces and just keep passing them down. Because those watches, when they're high-end watches and they're worth their money, they last forever. They last forever, and that's the type of watch that he makes. You might pay several $1,000s for it, but it's worth it. So Compass Timepieces, go online. He's on most of your social media networks. I have some posts on about a podcast that he has been on, things of that nature. So he's doing a great job. Like I said, his 4th year anniversary of his business is booming, and he's so he had a creative mind, and it just worked out for him. Just got to stick to it, you know. But back to Steelers now. The Pittsburgh Steelers passing Russell Wilson. Uh, I was watching him yesterday, and you could tell he was being rushed, but he was trying to get it done, and he misses his. I think he really misses Pickens, but he likes Calvin Austin. You know, he did throw the ball to Mike Williams yesterday 4 times. Mike had four for 4 targets, 4 catches. Weren't big plays, but his longest was a 16-yard reception. But Russell was Russell was 22 of 32, 217 yards, 2 touchdowns, uh, and he had 2 interceptions. Well, 1 interception and one fumble, and he was sacked 3 times. Uh, in the first quarter, he basically he. I mean, I thought it was a beautiful play. You know, he had to use his legs, man. He did. He used his legs, and basically he got it all the way down to the goal line. He got a little greedy. Instead of sliding, he tried to get into the end zone. That safety was barreling down on him around the 2-yard line. And if he would have slid, we would have lived to fight another day, and just probably Najee or Warren or somebody would have just ran it in, or maybe he even would have ran it in, next play or two. But he tried to get the touchdown. I can't blame him for that, but the guy put a lick on him, and he fumbled. He gave it up right there. So that killed that drive. And then they turn around and come back and go down 96 yards and score. So that killed that. We couldn't get off the field. That killed that. So, but we tried to get our running game going, but it was tough because Baltimore did a really good job against our run. Warren led all rushers with 48 yards on 12 attempts. Najee had 9 for 42 yards. Wilson had 3 attempts for 27. And, and he had a fumble. And then reception-wise, Calvin Austin, 4 receptions for 65 yards. He had biggest catch was 16.3 yards. And then he averaged 16.3 yards per catch. And Warren had 5 catches for 44 yards. Skoranek had 2 catches for 25 yards, 2 for 2. Like I always said, if you throw him the ball twice, 3 times, 4 times, he's going to catch all of them. He's going to be 100%. He's just a short-handed guy. Muth had a touchdown, 3 for 3. He didn't have that many yards, but he did score. And Patterson had a touchdown. And no, not Muth, but the other tight end, Pruitt, scored the touchdown. Cordell Patterson scored a touchdown, 24-yard touchdown, 1 reception for 24-yard touchdown. And Michael Pruitt was 1 for 1 for a 1-yard touchdown. So those were the 2 touchdowns that were thrown. We tried to get the running game going. I thought we should have ran more screens. We went back to that trying to run on first down. I don't know why we tried to run Najee outside. I know it's a setup. I know they're setting up something, but we lose yards. He gets tackled for losses. I mean, if he gets 2, 3, 4 yards on that carry, that's different. But he's losing yardage, or he's barely getting back to the line of scrimmage. For one, they key on him. So we got to do something else. We got to mix it up. We got to pass on first down sometimes, man. Throw a screen. Run some screens. You got 2 dynamic running backs that love running screens. When you run them, they work. Jalen Warren and Najee Harris, and even Patterson. Cordell Patterson. You can run screens with him. It works. They did try to throw some bubbles, but I mean, you gotta stick at it. You always got to run. So I don't know. That's Arthur Smith. He knows more than me. He's a professional OC. He's an OC for a professional franchise, and I'm just a guy doing a podcast. But I say basically, we need to do something different offensively at the first down. We need to get going first down. We can't be waiting because you get behind the chains. Okay, so you pitch it to Najee or he gets stopped on a run, first down, he loses 2 yards. Now it's what? It's 2nd and 12. Now you're playing behind the chains. And we know that's bad football. Okay, so now what happens if you go third down and you get 2 yards? Okay, so now you're back at 3rd and 10. You still got 10 yards to go. Whereas you do some throws, some screens and things like that, maybe you're working with better situation as far as first downs go. So we need to do some more on offense, man. And I get it. We didn't have Pickens, probably playing really conservative, but we gotta get out there, man. Got to get out there. He does make it easier on the other receivers though. He does because Pickens draws so much attention, and then with Mike Williams starting to play more, that's going to help too. And then Calvin Austin just needs to play, and our tight ends are decent, so we'll be fine. Um, Boswell, it was Boswell. He had one field goal. He was 51-yard field goal, knocked it out. So basically, um, things need to change offensively, I think, going into the playoffs and because we're on tape, we love to run the ball. Everybody knows it. Everybody knows that Pittsburgh likes to run the ball first down. We like to do that. That's what we do. Sometimes it works, a lot of times it doesn't. You play behind it, or you just get back to the line of scrimmage. Now it's it's 2nd and 10. Making it harder on the quarterback, and you're making it harder on your offensive guys. So I just think maybe some screens, the Najee or Warren or Patterson or Bubbles to count, anything like that, just to get it going, man. You got to get it going, But before we go on, I want to talk about color, people of color beauty, nail polish, based out of Los Angeles, California. Also a sponsor that's assisting me and helping me get on the map. And they're also trying to get into the Midwest. And like I've said before, California, in the southwest of the country, part of the country, are pretty saturated with her product. Um, she has the entrepreneur spirit. She's been on Good Morning America. They had a plug for her there. She did a nice spot on there. I remember watching it. And then also, she just received an award in a magazine on a cover from Oprah. And they had a nice article in there about her products. So you can go online, people of color, beauty. You can order, or you can, if you have a nail shop, if you do nails or whatever, and you want to try it, and you want to order some product, just go online, give her a call, or you can contact me, and I'll be able to reach her, and we can sit down, put you together, and you can work out something with her. Okay, so that's people of color beauty, nail polish. Good stuff, man. Go online and look on it. And I have some posts on my Facebook page and Instagram and things of that nature. And she also is on different social media networks herself. So she's doing good business. She's been doing it for a minute, and she's growing. Her company's just growing. It's growing. So basically, back to the defense. Patrick Queen, I think he could have played better. Those guards got out on him. He did have 4 solos, but it was tough for him. Because he had to cover too. They had him watch the first game they had Minka doing it. This time he had him covering Andrews. So he had to run with Andrews, which took him out the box a lot. So that had a lot to do with it. Casey, 7 solos. Casey, man, I don't know, man. I'm still out. I'm still out on him. It's just like every good play he makes a couple bad plays. Either he's not in the right spot, then he's looking around at his teammates like what, but they're looking at him like, dude, come on, and I mean he is fast, and for the most part he doesn't get beat, but when he's in man coverage he struggles. And sometimes he'll make plays and he'll get PIs, because he's either out of position or he's overly aggressive. And so it's I don't know, but he had to play the other day because Deshaun Elliott's hurt, and they had to move Minka up into the box. So Casey ended up starting in place of where Minka usually is at free. So it is what it is. Cam Sutton played more nickel, but I would like to see him back there. You know, uh, like to see him back there and see how but we got to see how if he can still run. But he's a defensive back in the NFL, so he got to have some type of wheels. You know, but yeah, so I don't know. I'm glad when Deshaun Elliott comes back. No knock on Casey, man. He's an NFL player. I'm just saying. Um, I just think he's a backup, and that's when he needs to come in the game when he has to. If he got to start, if he has to be a starter, he's going to need help. You have to roll coverages and help him, and then that's taken away. I mean, you can put Minka back there with him or do some different things with him, but it's just tough. Um, Fitzpatrick, Minka. Speaking of Minka, Minka had two solos and he had an interception late in the game, which killed the drive. And we were down 24-17, and we just got the ball back. Minka intercepts the ball. Minka intercepts the ball. We return it. The momentum swinging. We're in Baltimore. The momentum swinging our way. Big Mo is on our side, and around 13-minute mark after we got the pick, a few plays later, Russell throws a pick six to Humphreys, Marlon Humphreys. Takes it in for a touchdown, and they go up 2 touchdowns. And it kind of just killed the vibe. You can tell. They tried, but it was tough because they were struggling to move the ball in the first place. So now you got it. Now you're behind the 8 ball. You two scores down. So now you were one. You had the momentum going in. Get the pick six. Now you're down 2. It's 30-17. Okay. Then kick the extra point. Okay. Then you come down. You got to punt again, and it's crazy. You don't get what you need, and they get the ball back, and basically game's over. It is what it is. So and then we end up losing 34-17. But the momentum at twice, and I'm not knocking on Russell. I mean, that's the stuff is bound to happen. He doesn't make mistakes like that often. But the touchdown, he fumbled away down around the goal line, around 2 yard line, when he broke for that 19-yard run. Instead of sliding, he tried to get in. Got hit. Hit pretty hard, and let go of the ball. Lost his ball security and put the ball on the grass. Baltimore recovers. So they kill that drive. Then he throws the pick six after we swing the momentum, and Minka gets it. Throws a pick six, and Marlon Humphreys basically just walks into the end zone. It seems like it because there was nobody catching him. And so, I mean, it was just those 2 plays, man. We were in the game. It seems more lopsided than it really was. Yeah, Baltimore did play hard. They were playing tough, but we were still in position to win, even before those turnovers, man. Just think, we go down and Russell doesn't fumble the ball when he's trying to get that 19-yard run touchdown before he fumbled. That's the momentum when we score. We don't know what happens with that game. Now it's tied up. We take the lead. Then if we come back down, even if they're up 24-17, we get the momentum. We come down. We score. It's tied up 24-24. The monkey's on their back. It's on their back. They're at home. They're the ones trying to clinch a playoff berth. They're the ones. We just doing what we do. But the pick six killed all that. So it is what it is, man. It's one of those situations where we just need to get better. It's playoff time coming up. We got the Chiefs coming up in here. We got some things we need to fix. We need some people back. Pickens, they say will be back. Elliott will be back. Larry and Joby will be back. Hopefully, we're not. That's the words. We're not sure about Skoranek. Skoranek has a hip situation, the wide receiver I was talking about, and Joey Porter Jr. I thought it was his calf, but it was his knee. So they still didn't say much today. They just said they were waiting on word on what it actually was. But Tomlin did say at his press conference today that usually when a guy gets hurt like that and doesn't finish the game that late in the game and has a tired time struggling because he came back in after the second half. He tried to go in the third quarter, and then he wasn't on the field no more, and they took him out because he couldn't go. So I don't know what's wrong. So that means we're going to have to, if not either Sutton or Trice or I don't know who else. I got to look at the roster. Uh, has to step up and and play hard, man, and do their thing as far as taking his place if he can't go. So um, we're gonna have to figure that out because I don't want to play a bunch of zone against Kansas City. You know, yeah, they do have Worthy in them, but zones they just sit in the zones. I mean, Holmes is too good against the zone. So and but I think defensively we'll do some things that slow that down. You know, Kelsey, the other tight end, the backup tight end, Worthy. They got a D Hopkins. They just got Hollywood Brown back. Uh, so their running backs they let go of Eclair, but they still have they got Pigram, Piron or whatever. They came out of Cincinnati. He's really good. He had a good game yesterday against Houston. Chris Jones and Bolton play great as a tandem. They move Chris Jones around a lot, so it is what it is. So they're the Super Bowl champions. Everybody saying they're playing a lot of close games. Good teams know how to win close games. So they're 14-1. So hopefully it'll be 14-2 after Wednesday. You know, but tomorrow I'll be doing a podcast, talk more about the Chiefs. I'll have guests on that podcast. Um, we'll talk about the Steelers and the Chiefs, the matchup, strategies on both teams, what we think as far as possibly what each team needs to do to get the win, and then you know what each team must not do to lose. You know, so we'll have a nice podcast tomorrow. Um, it'll be probably around maybe 40 to 50 minutes long, like today, and then we'll go ahead and we'll play on Christmas Day, man. It'll be a game. The game's on CBS in Pittsburgh, and and also in Kansas City, and I know it's on Netflix everywhere else. So then you have that. That's a big day again because you had yesterday. You had what? You had Ravens in Pittsburgh, and you had Houston and Kansas City first. Then Ravens and Pittsburgh play second on Fox. On Christmas Day, you got Pittsburgh and Kansas City and Pittsburgh, and then right after that, you got the Ravens in Houston. So doubleheader Netflix. So those are big games, and they mean something. You know, all four of those teams need those wins. Buffalo won today. They're 2 games back, but they got the head-to-head against Kansas City. So Kansas City realizes that if they drop a game, you know, they can possibly slip to 2. I don't think they can fly any further, but they can slip to 2 because they still got to play the Broncos and they still have to play. I think they have to play. Yeah, they got to play the Chargers too. So the Broncos are tough. The Broncos almost beat them in Arrowhead. They missed a field goal. It got blocked at the end. At 2 seconds left on the clock. He got blocked. He didn't even miss it. He got blocked. Somebody blew an assignment for the Broncos and they blocked his field goal. You know, but then the Chargers are better. Harbaugh's a good coach. So there's not a gimme there. And if Buffalo continues to win, and when the Chiefs lose on Wednesday, and then if they drop another one, then they want to win. They're not trying to sit people, not at all, because they realize they can't blow games because Buffalo's right on their heels. If they drop 2 games, man, Buffalo wins the tiebreaker. Buffalo's the number 1 seed. Everything goes through Buffalo. So they know that. Well, tomorrow, like I said, we'll be posting that podcast with my guest from Kansas City, Pittsburgh podcast, getting ready for Christmas Day games. And I want everybody to enjoy themselves. Have a good rest of the week. Have a good holiday, man. You celebrate it. And make sure you watch some football if you're a big-time football fan. You know, in Steeler Nation, Midwest, We're gonna do our thing, man. Don't worry about it. We'll be fine. We'll be fine. All right. Good evening, y'all.